I've been trapping all day, couldn't get away from my dope scale. I'm a coast stunner, road runner, you got no bells. More money, I need more sales. Make it hell, make it rain shells. I'm a trap, make this money till my hand down, keep it strapped.
Welcome back to the Weekend Warriors, episode 24, Kobe episode, whatever you want to call it. Perfect. We're here with our boy Michael, the hybrid Billups today. You know, professional MMA fighter out of Tulsa, 6-2 record, man of many hats, many talents. And we're just gonna kind of sit down, and unpack everything with him today. Let you figure out who he is. How you doing today, bro?
Yo, I'm doing all right, man. Shoot, thanks for having me, man. Honestly, like you said, it was crazy running into you at the mall because we talked about this before just a little bit. And I mean, now we're here, and I actually got some stuff to say. So
hey, that's how it always works out. It always comes to be organically, and that's how it seems things work best. So
no, for sure.
A lot of our episodes have actually happened like that. Crazily enough.
No, that's kind of like what we were telling you beforehand. But shit, nah, bro, I'm excited to have you here today. I know you're somebody who's always active in everything that you're doing, and you always have a lot going on. So I appreciate you even giving us some of your time. I bet you came straight from training today. Did you train today?
So yeah, I actually I got up this morning, I trained and everything, and I was just telling my coach, I was like, I actually got to miss training tonight because I'm on a podcast. And he's like, you're on a podcast? Don't cough on the microphone, bro. He's like, I swear to God. He was like, I'm gonna watch it, and like, if you're nasty, like, tell them to edit it out. So, man. But he was super excited, and honestly, we actually just started our fight camp for our next upcoming fight, and that'll be. I actually can't like drop the date on it or anything yet because like contracts and stuff.
Is it through the CFFC?
Yeah, it's through CFFC again, and. Man, dude, I'm not gonna lie. Like they treated your boy real nice last time I was out there, and it was like the last time was in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and bro, it was like a whole different thing. Like it was the closest I've ever been to my dream. So like no, it was cool.
It felt like you was like in the big time.
Yeah, bro, like real talk, and it's like. It's crazy because like I've always told people, I'm like, yo, come see me while I'm local because I promise you I'm not going to be local forever. And, like, there's been people that, like, just kind of like, I'll see you whenever I see you.
And I was like, oh, shit.
Like, yeah, no, I'm literally probably not coming back, bro. Yeah, so, like, it was cool to feel that.
No, and that's great. And that's, like, that's literally the first thing I said to you whenever I seen you at the mall is I was like, bro, I just seen you one out in the Atlantic City. Like, that's dope. It's dope that you're going far away from home. Like, some people go, like, they'll go down to Texas and get a fight or go to, like, Kansas City or something like that. Nah, you're on the other side of the country, like, completely away from everybody and everything that and you went out there and did your thing in front of, a completely new set of eyes. So I think there's something to that,
No, it was cool. The best part about it was, like, honestly, like, I liked kind of being the bad guy, bro. Like, because when you're the hometown hero and everything, like, I feel like people kind of expect a certain
he had all his people there that time.
Yeah. So whenever I went out there, bro, it was like no pressure. I was like, oh man, y'all don't know what I'm about to do. Like I could really like spaz out here, and like you'd be like, oh, I guess that's how he is. Yeah. And so like just going out there and getting that experience and everything, it was cool. The promotion was good to us. Shoot, honestly, they picked us up in a limo, and bro, like that was like just that little thing blew my mind because I was like, bro, y'all picked us up in a what? Like he was like, yeah, I'm coming through in a Lincoln Town car, and I was like, yo, coach, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. Like it was cool, man. It was super dope the whole way through. So yeah.
How did that come about? Like did CFFC just reach out to you and they're like, hey, we've seen some of your fights, we like them, we'd like to offer you a fight?
So like the thing was we actually got a manager. Shout out to Ed Barnett.
Okay.
But like so we signed with his sports agency and stuff, and then like he got to work for us like right away. And like my teammate Jimmy Natividad, he actually like fought November the month before me. Goes out there, knocks his dude out like quick, right? And split him open. It was crazy. And the cool thing about that is the kid who he fought was actually like a stunt double for Cobra Kai. I don't know if anyone watches that show, but like, yeah, no, and we were like, what? Like, okay, you think you're a fighter?
This fake karate kid.
Let's figure this out, bro. And so like,
bro, we're out there trying to sweep the leg,
bro. Like, nah, for real. Like, he was like strike hard, strike fast type shit. It was crazy. And now my boy went out there and did his thing, and they like the promotion, like loved it, cause like I'll always like no matter what with our team, like we always come to bring the fight, but like at the same time, like we're pretty respectful and everything, and they like that, and we're the only team in MMA that has a dog as our.
I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, man, that's Bravo. That's my coach's service dog, cause he's a retired vet. And,
I seen that. I did see that. Okay, I didn't put two and two together. Though.
And yeah, so like Bravo just comes with us like everywhere, and so whenever they saw that, they were like, "Yo, what?"
He'll have the goggles on.
Oh yeah, bro. Like he means business.
They have like these ski goggles they'll put on him, bro. It looks tough.
Like yeah, no, he's there for the ride for sure. And like so whenever everyone saw Bravo, they were like, "What the like?" They got a dog, and apparently like I guess the views went crazy whenever they saw the dog. So like. As long as we keep doing what we're doing, like low key, I think my coach's dog is gonna make us famous. So
a bunch of middle-aged ladies on Instagram, like, oh look, the dog's coaching him.
Literally, like it was like a Karen's dream, bro. Like they were just like, what? Like I don't even know what fighting is, but I know that there's a dog now. Like and so yeah, man, it was just like a crazy thing. And then fast forward, like I got the fight in December. And everything went smooth. Like shout out to Lefties, they threw me like a little watch party on Greenwood, and like it was just cool to see like how much support was really behind us whenever we're not in town. Yeah, it's like it's really easy to support somebody whenever they're your neighbor, you know what I'm saying? But whenever your neighbor is halfway across the country, you still got the same love. And yeah, Tulsa really showed out for us.
Nah, bro, I'm already telling you because I'm hip to how it works. You're gonna get a lot more love once you really get out there and start doing it big, and you ain't here. You know,
absolutely.
That's when everybody's gonna want to claim you. Like that's our guy. It's like, why weren't y'all at River Spirit?
Bro, don't even get me started. But like, yeah, nah, man, it's been a blessing for real, man.
Absolutely. No, that's definitely dope, though. That is something I wanted to ask you about the dog, because I see it in all your pictures. So, did you go with your teammate when he went and fought there the first time? Or
Yeah. Me and him are like, man, we're pretty much a package deal. Like, this dude is like, honestly, that man's my rider. I ain't even gonna lie, because, like, he didn't, like, the promotion, they weren't able to like pay for his plane ticket and stuff. So
damn, that's big.
But like he bought the plane ticket, like no question. He was like, my coach was like, "Hey Jim, are you going to this fight with us?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm buying my plane ticket right now." And we're like, "Okay, like, dang, bro, I didn't know that you were about it like that, but appreciate it." And and we all just like we're always together. Like whenever it's fight time, we hang out. And then like it's weird because it's like as soon as like the fight's over, my coach lets us like take like a week sabbatical. Like we're just like chilling and everything.
I feel like that's necessary.
Absolutely, man. Like it's like
because like what people don't understand, like when you turn on a TV and you turn on UFC pay-per-view and watch a fight, they're watching that 3-hour broadcast. They're not watching the 3-month training camp that those people just went through in order to get down to weight, in order to get their cardio in the right spot, and in order to get all of their techniques sharpened up and things like that. So
absolutely,
a week is, completely understandable to take a break. You see some people like Patty Pimblett or somebody like that where they'll take like a month, bro. Bro be walking around looking like he's...
No, I ain't
bro walk around like Jim.
Looks like a different person. It is crazy though. Some people really do that,
I cannot, bro. Like honestly, I feel
like you're putting yourself at a deficit a little bit,
Yeah,
like I understand, taking your time to mentally reset, maybe eating some things you want to enjoy in life for a couple weeks. But at that point, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Like, you're putting yourself in a hole. You got to work so much harder just to get back to where you were at, rather than, like, if you maintain, you're not going to have to work near as hard to get back to that competition shape.
Someone like him, it's crazy. Look, like, how is this going to hold up for the next 3 or 4 years when you start getting older?
That's terrible for your health.
You start getting... Well, you just got to think, once you get older, shit gets a little bit harder, man.
Bro, absolutely, bro.
It gets a little bit harder to lose that extra pound and a half.
All the aches and pains on top of that. Like, honestly, I don't know how he does it. I'll be real with you, bro, because, I'm not, like, a huge dude, but, I definitely still got to cut my weight and, like, diet and everything. And the only thing is, like, especially at the level I'm at right now, if someone was to, like, have that, like, mentality when it came to, like, staying ready, bro, you would miss out on so many opportunities because, like, that's really, like, the name of the game is just, like, staying ready so you don't got to get ready because, like, fights will, like, fly at you like crazy once you, like, actually get your name out there and everything. And, like, I remember my coach telling me, like, right before we decided to, like, go national and, like, sign and everything, he was like, hey, like, I'm, like, the same thing as when you won the belt. Like, the floodgates are about to open, so we got to be ready. Like, we got to be on it. And I was like, nah, let's do it. Like, let's do it. I ain't got nothing else going on right now. So, like, let's hop on this. And, yeah, man, it's just been, like, no, like, all full steam ahead, no looking back. And it's just been cool, like, the whole way through. But, yeah.
So, you know, we talked about your most recent fight. So this is something I wanted to ask you. What was the first fight you ever got in? I'm talking schoolyard, relative, neighbor.
Bro.
What was it? What was the first time the hybrid had a toe the line with somebody?
Like, the first time I ever, like, got in a fight, bro.
First time you ever had to crack somebody?
Like, no lie, I was, like, 3 or 4 years old, bro. And I had a bully, and his name was Jackson, bro. I'll never forget this.
Hey, shouts out Jackson if you're watching right now.
Yeah, nah. You know what it is,
you
Jackson.
You can come get it right now.
On God, bro. He don't want a round 2. But anyway, he barely made it out of round 1. But, so, like, I had, we would have show and tell, bro. And I would, like, bring my Megazords, you know. Like, I was a Power Rangers kid, you know. And he would always, like, he'd always touch my shit, bro. And I was like, bro, stop touching my shit. And then one day he hit me, and I was like, I was just, like, flabbergasted, bro. I was confused as hell. I was like, this motherfucker is, like, what? I, like, went home and told my mom and dad, and I was like, hey, man, like, I told this guy to stop touching my stuff, and he hit me. And they were like, well, what'd you do? And I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not supposed to hit nobody. And my dad was like, look. Like, I hear you, but
the fine line, damn it. The fine line.
And, like, my mom and dad are ministers, so, like, I didn't know what to expect. And so my dad was like, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Whenever he touches your stuff next time, you tell him to stop one time, and if that don't work, you ball your fist up and you punch him right in the nose. And then after you punch him right in the nose, you punch him right in the gut. And I was just like,
a little 2-piece of the biscuit.
Like, bro, and, like, anytime my dad said anything, it was law. So I was like, you know, I got this.
He went to school.
He was like, at first it wasn't.
No, like,
that's why I had to take my lick, but now you just gave me the green light.
No, he was over there. He was over there. Here's my toys.
Oh, God. Like, hey, touch it, Jackson. Nah, but, like, I brought the same Megazords, bro, to show and tell, like, the next day, bro. And, because I remember, like, we had to, like, keep show and tell going because not all the kids got to go. And, like, sure enough, yeah, we had to run it back, bro. And he, like, touched my Megazords, and I was like, look, my dad told me to tell you this once.
I got permission to beat you up.
Stop touching my Megazords, bro, or I'm going to hit you. And he was like, you ain't going to do nothing. And I just, like, bro, just, and he just, like, dropped. And I was like.
Did you go nose gut,
bro,
like your dad said?
Nose gut, and, like, he, like, bled. And I was like. You got to keep in mind, I'm like 4 years old. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I started crying because I was like, oh no, like, what did I do to him? And, like, the teacher, like, pulls us to the side and stuff. And she, like, I get sent home and I'm like, but I told my mom and dad what happened. Like, we're, like, driving home and she was like, what happened? And I was like, I did what dad said. I got him good. And, like, man, I had my Megazord, so I was cool after that. But that was the first time I ever got
I knew you started
fight,
crying because when I was a little kid, I used to stay at my great grandma's house, so it'd be my so technically I don't know what it would be.
Yeah.
So it's my grandma's sister's house, and my great
some lady he's related to.
Yeah. This next door neighbor kid would come over and play with me, bro. Would always be on some other shit. Like, he was older than me. And, like, one day, I forgot what happened, but I just hit him in the face with a baseball bat, bro. Like,
man, that escalated quickly.
Man, I swear to God, my man jumped to assault.
Bro, wait, bro.
Michael had to go ask permission.
Like,
no, I hit him with the baseball bat, and he had to get stitches all down his face. And then my mom ended up finding out I hit him with the baseball bat, and she made me go fucking take a toy to his house. Fucking.
Oh man,
that's whack.
We still hung out after that.
I mean, hey, you know.
Well, it's because it was just like bro didn't see me hit him like how I hit him.
Yeah.
And like no one really ever knew. And like I've never told anybody this day. I actually intentionally hit bro with the fucking bat. But I played it off.
Like you was trying to hit something else and you accidentally hit it. I was throwing up a ball
but when I seen him bleeding, just instantly I was like. For me, it was never. I felt bad. It was just more of fuck. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, on God, bro.
I'm like, I tell my mom. I tell people all the time. I'm more scared of my mom than I am the police. Like, I'd rather go to jail than have to like sit in front of my mom and explain her something.
Jen is like, this is beyond telling them, bro, to chill out and it'll be okay. I'm about to get into trouble.
Dude, I have like so many stories of me fighting as a kid, and whenever I would fight, like I dead ass would like start crying before I would fight. And I remember one time I like started crying, and this kid's like, "What are you crying for?" And I was like,
"I'm finna kill you."
Yeah, I was like, "Cause I know what I'm about to do to you." Like, and
I don't want to do this.
And like looking back on it now as an adult, I'm like, "Yo, bro, like, were you okay?" Like,
no, I feel like a lot of kids do that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I read a story one time that Mike Tyson used to be like that, and I was like, man, maybe I am in the right profession because, like, I was like, if he cried, then I'm doing all right.
Yeah, because I mean, you look at a lot of his
have to fuck these motherfuckers up.
Yeah, you look at like, especially if you look at Mike Tyson now, who he is as a person now, and he sits there and talks about it. Mike Tyson said he every fight he went to, he was deathly scared.
Bro,
he was
got hypnotized as a child. That's the reason Mike Tyson was who he was.
He goes,
bro.
he said he
Monster,
was.
Bro.
He said he was deathly scared before every fight he went into, and he wasn't really he wasn't scared. He knew he would win. He was more scared of the fact that he might lose.
Yeah,
and then it would freak him out. But like watching him, I mean, after I listen to Mike Tyson, I feel like I can just go run outside and run through a wall.
Oh no,
the way he talks,
bro.
Because I was an animal. Yeah. He goes, I was deathly scared, but I was prepared. I was prepared.
So you was talking about, fight when you were a little kid and things like that. So, I know your base is in wrestling. At what age did you start wrestling?
So I actually started wrestling. Like, wrestling was like one of the last things that like I really like put together, because whenever I was a kid, I did karate and stuff, and I like grew up in that discipline. I got my black belt and everything, but I started wrestling when I was like 11.
Okay.
And so I was like, I was a little late to the game.
I didn't even know that. So you did karate before you wrestled?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like,
did like other people in your family do it, or is it just something you had an interest in? Or?
So it like,
as far as karate, not wrestling.
It started with like me and my sister, and like she got bored with it, but low key she was good. Like I ain't even gonna lie, like she was better than me whenever we started, but she like got bored with it, and so she just kind of like put it to the side. But I was always the one that was like, nah, dude, like I'm gonna do something with this, cause like, what else am I gonna do? I was like, growing up, I was like, either I'm gonna be a fighter or I'm gonna be an action star. I'm gonna be one of the two. And like, I had to quit drama class, so it looked like I was gonna be a fighter. And and so like, I just like stuck with karate and like really like tried my best to just like be good at it, bro. But the thing was, karate would make me mad because I would do tournaments and I'd be like winning, but you're not supposed to hit directly to the face in karate tournaments.
Yeah, it's an all body strike.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to like, if you like knock someone out, you lose. And so I did both of those things more than once, and we get disqualified. And I was like, bro, I'm starting to get real annoyed.
I'm winning.
Losing. Yeah, I'm like, I'm losing to these kids that I'm like whooping. Like, why am I like, this is stupid. And so like, it kind of like turned me off for a while. So I was like, I just want to get my black belt. Like, I just want to get my black belt. But my friends like talked me into like trying out wrestling, because they like brought the tryouts to school. And I'll never forget, like, it was like Coach Crutchmer, Kyle Crutchmer, Brian, and like Connor Baxter, bro. And they showed a video, and it was like Ronnie Balfour, Jamal Parks, and they're just like dumping
all the Union greats.
Yeah, just like all the greats, bro. And just like, they're just dumping people on their heads. And I was like, yo, okay, hold on. Like, I was like, man, the singlet kind of gay, bro, but I'll get over that. Like, let me like teach me how to dunk some on somebody's head, bro. And so like, they like did the little tryout thing, and I'll never forget. It was like a King of the Mat type thing, and like all you had to do was like,
take down, stays on. Take down, stays on.
And so like, I like made it to like the last dude, and it was me and one of my homies.
Probably some big motherfucker.
Yes,
that's
honestly,
how it always went.
That's
how it always goes, because it goes like, when you're a kid or at any age in wrestling practice and you do King of the Mat, you line up on the wall in weight order.
Yeah.
So it goes from smallest to biggest. So say if you're somebody like me or Michael who's to the middle or smaller into things, you gotta run the fucking gauntlet to be king of the mat. You gotta go to at least half or more of the team, bro.
And it was like a tryout of like 50 kids, bro.
Like your class at school, like gym class or something.
So I was like,
Bro, I
damn.
take down 48.
like dead ass, bro. And I was just like, okay, bet. Like, I got this. And sure enough, it's this big motherfucker. And I was like, God damn it. And so, like, I go out there, though, and, like, it looked like I was, like, losing. And then I hit some athletic shit that I didn't know I could hit. And I won, bro. And I was like, oh, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to wrestle next year, Mom. Like,
yeah, the athletic shit he hit was to the nose, to the gut.
But, yeah, and then after that, bro, I just, like, I started wrestling the next year. And, like, I mean, like, my athleticism only took me so far, but I remember what really changed my life, like, as far as wrestling went, is I did freestyle that summer.
Absolutely.
And, like, that put me so far ahead of, like,
put you in so many
other
different
kids.
positions you wouldn't usually feel.
And it was just, like, all the reps that I got, I was like, oh, man. So by the next, and then I ended up, like, doing, like, the national team that summer.
Dual team?
Mm-hmm. And so, like, by the time the next year came around, I was, like, I was pretty good.
Yeah, because Union was really big and all that shit at the time. Because, like you said, y'all had Coach Kretschmer over there and stuff, and he was one of the directors, I believe, for one of the OK USA teams at the time.
Absolutely, and like, yeah, no, dude, like, it just wrestling definitely changed my life. Like, I feel like that mindset, I've been able to like take it into everything else I do, and like,
absolutely,
anytime I'm in like a bad spot, I'm like, bro, you've been in worse spots and you made it out, so. Like, this ain't nothing.
And so, I know you also wrestled for Coach Kretschmer in college at Ouachita Baptist.
Yeah.
And so, were you training MMA when you were wrestling in college? Or is that... weren't you fighting MMA first and then they asked you to come wrestle or something like that?
Yeah.
Because you was wrestling there at the same time with my boy Robbie, so I remember him kind of telling me about it.
Yeah, bro. It was kind of weird because, like... So, I was going to wrestle right out of high school, and... Some stuff went down, and your boy lost some scholarships. We don't gotta get.
It is what it is,
now,
water under the bridge.
But honestly, everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out because like I started doing MMA like pretty much like the year after I graduated high school, and so like everything was going good. Like I had like by the time I got to college, I had already won the amateur belt. I was like 10
he was
amateur.
undefeated amateur. I seen that, yeah.
And then like I think I was like 1-1 as a pro whenever I went to college, and I ended up I wrestled for Coach Kretschmer for like a year and a half until I ran out of money. And
he has an MMA gym in Arkansas now, doesn't he?
Yeah, now he does.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty sure. Yeah, because he'll be training fighters and shit. I seen. Like I know Jalen Otero, Robbie's little brother.
Yeah.
He did a fight like last summer during off season, and like trained out of his gym.
Oh,
and shit.
that's dope. I didn't even know he did that.
He won. Shout out Jalen Otero.
Hell yeah.
Shit, he's killing it this year too.
Shit, shout out to Robbie Otero, bro. Like,
hey, he's killing it in his shit too. I don't know if you've seen him, but he's like a sports nutritionist now.
Yeah.
He also coaches that club team that's Kretschmer's like Team Conquer or something like that.
Yeah. And I was like, so yeah, no, and being at a Ouachita, it was cool because like I hadn't touched a mat in like at that point like 4 years or something like that, but like it literally like felt like. I don't know, it felt like coming home again.
Yeah,
bro.
you step back out there, you feel free.
Absolutely, dude. And it was just like, and at that point, I'd already like competed like with like actual like people watching me and stuff like that. And so it was just, it was just like a really cool experience. And I think it definitely helped a lot, like just like getting back to like a wrestling base and stuff. Which
and that wrestling training is different,
bro. Like it was so different. I even told my coach, I was like, bro. I like gassed. I won my first match like being back in college, but I gassed so bad at the end, bro. Like he was
that
like, yeah,
7-minute match is a motherfucker, ain't
bro.
it?
And the crazy thing, I'm like, bro, I trained for a 15-minute fight, but that 7 minutes
because it's a sprint. It's a 7-minute sprint.
Just the whole way
a wrestling
through,
match
bro.
is a sprint.
And
that's why I tell people all the time, like, bro, I can go to any. I'm not gonna say any, but any jiu-jitsu school around here, and you know, like on an open roll night. and go roll for a good 30 minutes to an hour and be fine. But I can't go to a wrestling practice out of shape and get through the entire practice. I'll be gassed.
It's just different, bro.
It's different.
And if there's one thing I've learned, like, through fighting is every combat sport has a different type of cardio, bro. Like, and if you're just, like, not used to that,
Facts.
then, like, you're going to drown. And the crazy thing is, like, that's what makes MMA so crazy is because, like, you have to know how to navigate each one of those cardios, like switch it to boxing. Okay, now I'm doing this, or I got to switch it to kickboxing, then switch it to wrestling, then jiu-jitsu. And it's just like, once you, like, that's like what makes the greats so great. Like Mighty Mouse and John Jones is like, there's zero hesitation from like when they switch from one discipline to another, bro. And like, that's what I think really like separates them.
Yeah.
Like the weirdest compliment I've ever gotten from my mom was, she was like, Michael, you were a good wrestler, you know, and you were like, you're decent at karate, you know? And I'm like, okay, where are we going with this, bro? And she was like, but when you can mix it all together, you're a great
That's
MMA
what it takes.
fighter.
Exactly.
And I was like,
it takes all those different bases.
Word. I'll take
and,
that,
all your different experiences. And I think you have a great base, too, because like you said, I didn't realize as a little kid you started in karate, so you have a striking base. That's the first thing you ever learned was actually how to strike. So it just even gives you that much more of an edge, especially.
Absolutely. And, yeah, no, it's just a crazy experience, man, the whole way through.
So, we talked about your first fight as a kid. So, what was your first MMA fight like? What was your mindset going into that? What was the experience like? How did it come about?
Man, that whole experience was just, it was kind of wild because, like, so, whenever I got it scheduled, I had already been, like, training with my coach because he told me no matter what, he was like, look, he's like, I understand that you got a lot of wrestling training. I understand that you're a black belt, but like MMA is different. So, like you got to train for at least 6 months with me for us to like mesh and like figure everything out. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like that sounds good to me. And so like I start training and everything, and I actually I got my teeth knocked out before my very first fight, bro. And so
like in sparring?
Yeah, dude, like I literally got my teeth kicked out of my head and I had a mouthpiece in and everything. It was the craziest thing. And like they came out whole, right? And so like they like put him in milk and saved him, and they like rushed me to the dentist, and he literally just like popped him back in, like did a root canal, and like that was it. And I had to sit out for like 2 weeks. But like the thing was, whenever I got there, I was like, I'm like holding my mouth and I go, so this mean I can't fight? And like they were just like, and he was just like, no, you're not gonna be fighting for a while. And I was like, gosh dang it. And like my coach and like my matchmaker at the time, like they were like, dude, I think we just broke that kid. Like I don't think he's coming back after that. Like that was pretty rough. And sure enough, I like showed back up like a week later. I couldn't practice, but I was just watching, and he was like, okay, like this kid might have something. And so like we start training again, we start picking it up, and they finally like matched me up with this kid, and it was like the end of the year fight. So like it was like a pretty big card. And
was it his first fight too? Or
yeah, okay. It was both of our first fights, and he was a little bigger than I was. But yeah, man, it was just so surreal because like I remember all the way from like weigh-ins to that night, all I was thinking was, I'm really doing this. Like this is really crazy, and like, but I felt prepared like the whole way through. Like my coach gave me like a solid camp. I was like, I had looked the best I had looked in like
your
years.
Confidence in your preparation.
Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime, like that's like the main thing is like I feel like a lot of people like, as long as you put the work in, bro, you should be the most confident person. Like
absolutely,
that's like nothing should break your confidence.
That's what we tell our wrestlers before every single event is
yeah, bro.
You should be confident. Like you have every reason to be confident because we're working harder than everybody.
Absolutely, bro. And it's like that night, like now, and my coach even said the same thing. He was like, all right. Like, we put all the work in, like, now we can have some fun. And I was like, all right, bet. Cool. And so, like, that night, I ended up selling, like, a bunch of tickets and everything. And my mom was there, my dad was there.
All
like
your people there?
Yeah, like, all my people were there. Some of the Katusha people were there, which was dope. And, man, it just went, like, it was like a movie. Because, honestly, like, right out the gate, I'm just like, I just started throwing stuff. And and at one point in the fight, like, everyone went crazy because I remember I kicked him in the face, and then I get behind him and I like suplex him. But whenever I suplexed him, both our feet came off the ground. Like, it was like I forgot what to do.
Like,
so
you
I
jumped into the suplex.
Yeah, I did like a backflip, and everyone was just like, "Yo, what? Like, what?" And like everyone went crazy, and I ended up finishing the dude in the third round, and like I'll never forget that feeling. And like after that, I was like, "Nah, like this is what I want to do." And honestly, it's like it's like chasing a high, for lack of a better term, bro. Like I'll never forget, like when I was in camp, I was like, this is the most efficient version of me I've ever been. This is like the most focused version of me I've ever been.
Off, yeah.
Yeah, and so like I just want to keep being this guy. Like, and
that's a great way to look at it. That's what
100%.
And that's something else that, like, I tell our kids all the time. That's something that's unique about like MMA or wrestling or jiu-jitsu or something like that. That's a combat sport where it's you and one other person.
Yeah,
it's all about being the best version of yourself when you need to be on that specific day when you have to compete, just like how you're talking about.
Absolutely, man.
And a lot of people don't know that feeling, you know.
And it's just like such a crazy thing, and it really is like hard to explain to people who haven't done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's honestly like what it is like, bro.
Everything's in tune.
Yeah, like it almost feels like an unhealthy addiction sometimes, chasing that high, because you're like, I know that like no matter where I get to, like this is just one of those things.
I can attain this feeling. Yeah,
like, and so yeah, you just feel unstoppable after that. And after we won, it was like I was young and like just so full of energy. I was like, book the next one. Like let's like we can do it tonight. Like just book the next one, coach. And like after that, we just like started just flying through them, man. And like it was cool because like along the way, my promoter Dale Cook at the time, he was plugged in, so he was like having people come in.
Yeah, because he runs these local promotions.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, or at least has a good hand in them, right?
Absolutely, yeah. He runs the XFN, and so he low-key did kind of plug me into like just like a bunch of names that I should not have met, like especially like being a kid from like Oklahoma who like I didn't have like a whole lot of backing behind me, like, you know, some of these people coming out of OSU and stuff like that have. Like I was just Joe Schmo.
Yeah,
you
you
know
was backing
what I'm saying?
yourself.
Yeah, and so but he introduced me to like Uriah Faber and like Frank Mir, and I only talked to Uriah Faber a couple times, but like Frank Mir's family, like they like
he's from
really,
Oklahoma, isn't he? Or he lives here or something?
Frank Mir?
Yeah.
No, he's from Las Vegas.
Okay.
But
I just see that he does like so many events here. Like he'll be doing like all the MMA
him
events.
And Mr. Cook are like they're pretty good friends now.
Okay.
And he just like showed me a lot and just kind of like helped me just like fine tune a couple things in my game, and just like kept my mind open to like what the possibilities are and what I need to be looking for at the next step.
Yeah,
and so
that's
like
multiple time UFC champion. That's
absolutely.
Great advice. Hall of Famer.
So I was like, and one day I'll never forget. I was like, one day I was really sitting there and I was thinking about it because I had just left a dinner with him and Mr. Cook, and I was like, dude, like a year ago, like I met Uriah Faber, and then like I'm with Mr. Cook and, you know, Frank Mir and stuff. I was like, bro, you're literally around champions. If you just sit down and listen.
A couple Hall of Famers.
Yeah, like you'll get the blueprint. So just like sit down and focus. And like, yeah, as long as I like knock out all the outside noise, like I feel like I'm like on a really good path right now. So
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, side note, that boy Uriah Faber would be killing me with the flip flops and the jeans, though, man. If you see bro again and he's wearing that shit, which I'm sure he will be,
bro,
you gotta tell him to stop. If I ever see bro directly, I'll tell him to stop.
It's funny you say that because like that's what he wore, bro.
I know.
Like literally
every time I see him,
like. He had a tank top and jeans and flip flops, and I was like, after the fights, like especially back then, I like to like dress up and stuff.
Yeah.
I have on like slacks and like closed-toed shoes and stuff, and like I was like, oh, I mean, I still am gonna get a picture with you. I don't give a fuck. I was like, I'm still gonna take a picture, but and he was pretty dope, bro. I will say that's one aspect of every champ that I've ever met, like. They're always like super humble, super like down to earth dudes, and I really like that because like I feel like I'm a pretty chill guy, and so like just like it was cool to see like our energies kind of like mesh, and like I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm like these guys. I'm like these guys at like a spiritual level. So like
y'all both put in that sweat equity. You know, they know what you're going through.
Absolutely, and so it was cool to see that like I was able to just like vibe with them just like on a personal level, because you know it's like it's one thing to be like an athlete and be like a competitor, but some people who compete are assholes. So like it was cool to see that they were dope.
Well, yeah, kind of to touch on something, and I know I hear Nate talk about this not only to his wrestling kids, but to other fighters we talked about. We emphasize that combat sports, a lot of the time, is you versus someone else. It's quite literally the best version of them versus the best version of you.
Oh, yeah.
And as we've heard, you've had a very successful amateur career. And so what was it like taking that first loss, and how did it affect you on the bounce back of like, all right, we just got hit in the chin for the first time. Now it's time to show who we really are, because you really don't know who you are until I feel like that really that can make or break a fighter.
That's something you asked Tracy too.
You can make or break
sure.
a fighter off a loss for real.
The first time I lost, it was kind of like I don't even know how to explain it. That might have been like more surreal than like my first win, because like in that moment, like you know, you have at a certain point, like when I came into the game, I didn't really have no expectations. But after you start winning and stuff, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna ride this till you know the wheels fall off. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. And it was like the second you step into pride, like instead of confidence fueled by like training and like just like knowing that you put the work in, the second you step into pride, bro, like you'll fall. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
so I took a fall, and like but I'll never forget like the feeling afterwards. I was like, I felt like I let people down, but like the people that mattered, it was like my dad, my coach, and my teammate. All three of them like just kind of like got around me, and like low-key like kind of get emotional thinking about it right now, but like they all just like got around me, and they were like, hey, like you didn't let nobody down. You were doing your thing. Sometimes you get caught. Sometimes, like, you know, the night doesn't happen the way that, you know,
I mean, that's
it
really
doesn't happen
really
the way that
is.
you know you want it to be, and but it's okay because we're all still here. And I was like, dang. And in that little brief period of time, like it was probably like a week, I really saw like how many people and who all had my back and who all didn't, and like it made it a lot easier to block out the people that didn't have my back. And I realized that like what really mattered to me about this sport, and like what mattered to me is that the best version of me shows up, and I go out there and I do exactly what I'm supposed to do. Like I'm not worried about like all the extra stuff that comes with being the best. I'm just worried about being the best. Like that's all I want. And so being able to like bounce back from that, I think it definitely like taught me something about myself and just taught me something about life.
And I think sometimes like what a lot of people don't understand is like there can be freedom in a loss.
Yeah, like it was like a weight off.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, when you're undefeated, you know, it even if it's internally, you have all this pressure on your shoulders of that zero. Of, I'm undefeated. I can't take a loss. I'm the man. I gotta stay on top. This, that, and the third. Once you take that loss, though, it takes all that pressure away, and it's like, well, I lost. Like what's the worst thing that can happen now? It's only up from here.
Exactly.
And especially like someone like you who's competed in wrestling, you know, you've done how to do that all in the same weekend before.
Exactly.
Take a loss, and then an hour later you got to turn back around and wrestle through the backside and win 4 more matches just to win a medal. You know, so
exactly. Yeah.
I think, you know, all your experiences in karate and wrestling and things like that probably helped prepare you for those experiences.
Oh, absolutely. And like that, it's funny you say that because that's one thing my mom has always like stressed to me. Is
always
like,
bounce back.
Whenever I like feel down or something, or like I feel like I'm not as ready as I should be. You know, my mom's like, Michael, you've literally been preparing. She's like, every time you step out to fight, you've been preparing for this since you were 4 years old. I don't care what nobody else says. You've been preparing for this since you were 4 years old. You've always known what you wanted to do, and you stuck to it, and here we are. So, like, just go out there and do your thing, baby. And I'm like, oh, Mom.
I will.
I feel like at some point you got to bring the Power Rangers to like a press conference.
Oh my god!
I feel like
bro,
that is like, if I ever go on TV and you're fighting UFC and you have the fucking Power Rangers, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm like, yep,
bro. Like, I low key have to like dedicate my career to the Power Rangers, bro. Like they like inspired me to do all the crazy stuff that I do, bro. I'm like, man.
Hey, now you're doing some real life Power Ranger shit, though. You know?
God, dude, like it's yeah, man, it's a blessing, bro.
nah. But like the thing on me, I never competed in any combat sports, wrestling or anything. So when I sit down with people like you and like Tracy Reeder, and I have homeboys who fight, and
Right.
he did wrestling, and I've been surrounded by wrestling my whole life, going to tournaments since I was could barely talk. You know, that one thing I realized about a lot of combat sports is really like a way of life, and it can really, I feel like it
Absolutely, it has
teaches
to
you
be.
a lot more things about yourself and others, and like, I don't know, I feel like it's one of those things that like anybody, if you don't have anything to do like going on in your life and like you have no idea what you want to do and you're somewhat athletic person, I feel like even if you don't want to become a fighter,
Yeah.
I feel like training and fighting and just in that aspect of life would be
Personal
a good
growth,
like
yeah.
it'd be great, because I feel
Absolutely, bro.
Everybody need to get their ass whooped for sure.
because I know me and
Yes.
because I know Tracy, because I had the same thing with him when he sat down. He was telling us, I'm like, he would explain something that happened in the fight, and the way he broke it down to me, I'm like, damn, it allowed him to reach a clarity in his mind where, like, kind of like you just said, like, it took that loss and it made me see who was there for me and who wasn't.
Yeah,
And it's like really crazy, because I feel like you can take that in every aspect of life, and like that's what's really great about the sport for real.
It really is like, yeah, it's something that can give someone purpose, even if you don't like want to pursue it to that level. Like combat sports will just do that for you. It'll just give you like, it makes you want to do better in other aspects of your life. Like I know people like who start training and like honestly they get choked out a couple times and they're like, okay, how do I do everything right in life to avoid getting choked out, bro?
Literally.
Like, they'll change their eating habits, they'll stop smoking, they'll like, I've seen people completely 180 their whole lives, like down to the religion, just because they want to like be better, and it like trickles down to everything else. They start being on time, they start doing all this other extra stuff, and it's like it's always cool to see like the transformation.
Because it strips away all that ego and takes you down to who you really
Like,
are.
for like
You know, you can't put on a mask and hide from nobody in that practice room. You know.
Yeah.
Like for a personal example, like his brother started jiu-jitsu and like changed his whole life.
He knows
Like,
Charlie.
you know Charlie?
Yeah.
You seen, because you might probably seen when like he changed his whole life. Like,
Literally, yeah.
Like never, if you'd have told me as a kid that'd be what Charlie is today. Bro's so happy with what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's all you can wish for somebody. Like you just look at him, he's happy, he's healthy, he loves what he's doing.
Got
And
some purpose, like
You know, that's actually, it's just crazy, because you look at a sport like football where like I might be the number one receiver in the nation.
Yeah.
And I might only catch 3 balls this game, but we still win the game. You know, when you're fighting somebody, you know, it's at that point, you have like MMA.
You ain't
It's
got
like
nobody else to rely on.
like you go to team practice. I'm a wide receiver. I have to rely on my quarterback to get it to me. When you're fighting, I gotta rely on myself to know when to fade out, when to, bro. That shit, like,
to bob and weave.
Like, it takes shit like this for like episodes like this where I talk to someone like you who does it. Like, bro, there's so much more shit that goes into it. Because as a fan, you turn on the UFC and you're like, all right, Conor McGregor go out here and whoop this guy's ass. And then Conor McGregor gets his fucking ass whooped, and you're like, oh my god. And you're like, Conor, in your eyes, Conor McGregor's a god, but then you're like, well, who's this fucking Khabib motherfucker? He doesn't want to punch. He's a bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, but you understand, Khabib fucking wrestles fucking bears in the woods and shit. Like, Khabib's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, bro, like,
people just don't know like what's behind the scenes of this shit for real.
and it's like that's like the craziest part is like is what all goes on behind the scenes, bro. It's just like, because you got to think you're doing all this stuff to prepare for this fight, but on top of that, you still got to be like an adult human being. So you still got to pay for your bills. You still got to make sure you got groceries. You still got to do your laundry. You got to do all the little things, you know.
I can barely do that, and I don't even fight.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was this
shit.
last camp was a big one for me because I was all by. This is the first time in my life where I was in a camp where like I was like all by myself. I had my parents. I didn't have a girlfriend. I didn't have like nobody. It was just me and my dog, bro. Like we just, just like toughing it at the crib, and I like we win the fight and everything went exactly according to plan. And we're like in the backstage and we're all hugging and stuff. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, and my coach is like, bro, he's like, what? Are you okay? And I was like, That's rent. That's rent.
See that?
But yeah, I mean, shit, and that's something I think people don't think about too. Is like, I'm not sure how your pay structure was set up with, you know, CFFC or whatever, but like, you know, most promotions, half your purse is the show, half your purse is the win. You know, so you got to show up and perform to make your check, and that's something that, you know, most professions, you're not necessarily directly based off your performance.
Yeah, nah.
Man, imagine going to 9 to 5 and they're like, well, Jimmy, you only flipped 3 burgers today. You worked 12 hours.
Yo, I guarantee you, Jimmy gonna be working his ass off the next time he gets in there, bro.
Might be a decent idea.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe in participation awards. So, like, but, nah, yeah, man. It's funny because people will ask me all the time. They're like, oh, yeah, nah, so, like, you making money now because you bro. And I'm like, first of all, let me explain something to you, bro. Like, whenever I first started, I was fighting for $50, basically. Like, as an amateur, I made $50 a fight, and then I got $5 off of every ticket I sold. And, like, that was, like, standard. That was pretty standard for an amateur, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, like, as you, like, go up in the game, like, yeah, you know, it starts building up a little bit more, but it still took a second, like, you know what I'm saying? And, like, you definitely had to, like, take your lumps to, like, get to that point, you know? And so, like, fighting's definitely one of those sports where it's, like, you don't make it till you make it, you know what I'm saying? Like, once you're there, then, yeah, by all means, you got money, you know? Shoot, people might sponsor you a house, but, like, till you get there, bro, nah, you just fighting for the love of it.
Yeah. So, I know, like you said, you already have a fight booked with CFFC again?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so you don't have an exact date lined out for that. Do you know an opponent yet? If you can't say, that's fine.
Yeah, I actually can't say, but
he's fighting Jen.
I don't want the smoke, but
1 round or less. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh man, but I can't say too much, but I will say that, like, man, I just don't see anybody outworking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to look at people and be like, oh man, like, this is gonna be a tough one, or this is gonna be this, and it's like, obviously, bro, you're at that. Like, at this point, I'm like, nah, bro, obviously, tough, they're all gonna be tough, but, like, I actually said it to my guy in my last fight, but, like, because he was kind of a bully, and, like, that was... I seen he was kind of talking shit, yeah. And, like, but whenever I could feel it whenever we got to weigh-ins, like, he, like, would look at me, I was
all
like...
the energy was gone.
Yeah, he was, like... It was different whenever I was in front of him. Mm-hmm. Like, he actually came down to... Because we were cutting weight in the sauna at the hotel, and he actually came down there, and, like, he was talking all loud and everything and stuff. And then, like, I, like, walked by him, and, like, he just got quiet. And I was like... Oh yeah,
got your ass.
Like, yeah, I was like, I know what it is now. And then, like, that night, it was like it was like the end of the first round. He was he, like, swung after the bell, and he had done that to opponents and stuff before. And, like, but I swung after the bell, and I connected twice. And, like, the ref had to like actually separate us. And I'm, like, looking at him in his eyes, and I was like, yeah, this is not what you thought it was. And I was like, you're locked in here with me. Like, you're locked in here with me. And, like, he just, like, he was, like, walking back just kind of like, man, this dude kind of crazy. And I was like, yeah, no. And honestly, I can, like, date that back to wrestling. Again, like, Coach Jefferson, I remember I was looking at the brackets, and I was like, man, I got this guy, and I got this guy. And he was like, stop doing that. And I was like, what you mean? And he was like, you don't got them. They got you.
Yeah,
like, they got you. And I was like, a word, like, I'm the dog. Okay, bet I could do that. And so ever since then, bro, like, now I'm definitely at that mindset where it's like, nah, I don't really care who it is. Like,
they got me.
Yeah, like, and that's gonna suck for 15 minutes.
So, you know, like, just to kind of round things off here a little bit at the end, what would you say your biggest goal for 2024 would be? What's, you know, you want to get invited on the Contender Series? You want to, you know, jump to a bigger promotion, wherever that may be.
Well, let's not even just break until 2024. What's your end goal with fighting? Like, what do you want to get out of fighting?
Everybody's end goal is going to be the same.
Well, I feel like, you know, fighting is one of those things. Some people only fight like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. So, like, what's your end goal though? Like,
honestly, my end goal is I'll stop fighting whenever Because obviously I want to be the UFC champion. I think
that's anybody's end goal. I feel like
you
it
know,
has to be. That's like asking a football player what their end goal is.
Absolutely. Like, I want to be the UFC champion. I want to retire on top, though. I want to retire on top, but I want to be able to. I want to be able to afford to like just set my family up.
What do you define? What do you define as
wealth.
on top, though? Are you defining on top as with the win, or are you defining on top as like champ?
Honestly, just as champ, because like I've seen
like
too
Khabib?
many. Yeah, like I've seen too many champs like get there and then they let Father Time catch up and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, I'm
Kind of like Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Got like almost there, and then Father Time was like, "Nah, we're done." And respectfully, Tony Ferguson, but yeah, I just
He's like, shit, I might see his house one day.
because like I love Tony Ferguson.
I
But
love
Tony Ferguson.
But it's
you can do it like Brett Favre, for example.
But
Brett
it's like, you know,
Favre,
when
same
it's time,
thing.
it's time. But yeah, no, I just want to be able to set my family up like with some generational wealth, man. Like I just,
I think that's a great goal.
yeah, like if I can do that, then all of this will have been worth it. And I want to be able to like give back like to the community, and you know, just like martial arts is really the only way that I know how to do that. And so let me figure out a way to do that, whether it's I'm, you know, making merchandise and being able to help people that don't have clothes, like it, like make a nonprofit, or if I'm like able to teach, you know, I really want to like be able to teach kids and women self-defense, because I just feel like everyone needs to, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there that just give off creepy vibes, and they're like in it for the wrong reasons.
It's an empowering
and
thing
I'm not
too.
that
You can
dude,
teach somebody how to defend
Especially in like
themselves
today's
and-
world,
Absolutely,
man. It's
like,
crazy out here.
You never know what's gonna happen. So like that's like mandatory for me. Is I want to teach people just how to defend.
But yeah,
themselves.
shit. I mean, that's even some. And I feel like a self-defense class, just in general, like you can avenue to many different things, man. At that point, you might, let's say you get registered to teach people how to use firearms. Next thing you know, you're running a big ass fucking self-defense facility.
Bro,
Crazy
like,
shit.
honestly,
What's
yeah.
bro's name that makes all of the videos?
Oh, you do the. He's like, take the gun.
It's like nah, bro. It's like Detroit self-defense
Bro,
or whatever.
That dude,
He goes, puts you in
man.
a headlock in the front seat. Put your 2 fingers on the seatbelt.
Like,
Drop the seat back.
yeah, and then wake up in the sky, bro. Like the stuff he says, I'm like, oh my god.
I saw
like,
this TikTok and it was like, I just did dude's defense mechanism. Now I'm at a Juice WRLD concert. This shit's crazy.
Well, shit, bro.
Hey yo,
Hey, that's
crazy.
gonna kind of wrap things up for today. I appreciate you giving us all your time. You
No,
know, I
man.
can't wait to see you fighting again soon.
Absolutely, man.
Like,
I
y'all want the
appreciate
Warriors
y'all.
to go travel and go watch bro fight?
Hey, that'd be dope. And like
Let
I
us
said,
know.
it's gonna be for CFFC again.
Yes, sir.
It's been your boy Michael the Hybrid Billups here at the Weekend Warriors. We
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
him sitting down with us. Episode 24. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's somebody you'd like to see, just let us know.
Or I'll fight you.
Don't
Hey.
touch that man's Power Rangers.
Signing off.
I've been trapping all day, couldn't get away from my dope scale. I'm a coast stunner, road runner, you got no bells. More money,